Hey guys, Alex here. Cloudy, kind of rainy day in Cancun. And I want to ask you, and you have to ask yourself, what are you using your relationships for? Because you are using them for something. I use my relationships of any kind for something. You are serving yourself with your relationships. I am serving myself with my relationships. That's just the truth. We are tools, men and women, human beings. We are tools to each other. We help each other. We are serving each other in one way or another. Now, this question, I know now that will impact my relationships, all kinds of relationships, not just romantic relationships, all kinds of relationships for the rest of my life. It is a very powerful question. And most of the time, we are deciding unconsciously what we are using our relationship for. And the problem with that is that most people do not feel like they're enough. So they use our relationship unconsciously. They don't know this, but most people get into a relationship for all the wrong reasons. They get into a relationship to feel important, to get opportunities in that relationship to play the role of the victim and have that sense of significance. Because our greatest addiction as human beings are problems. Have you ever fought against another person to see who has the biggest problem, who went through more shit when they were younger? I mean, maybe not you, but I'm sure you've been there. Discussing with another person, you know, well, I've been through this. Oh, well, I've been through that. Oh, well, I've been through this also. Oh, well, when I was younger, I went through that. So it's funny to watch people fight to see who has more problems, because when you feel insignificant, the fastest way to feel more significant is to find a big problem, because you're like, oh, I have all of these problems, so I'm significant. And most of the time people don't do shit about their problems. They just talk about them, or just tell themselves how shitty their life or their situation is, or how shitty someone treats them, or how much someone disrespects them, or how much someone doesn't value them. So most people unconsciously know that if they get into a relationship with someone, that they will have opportunities to blame and to judge and to criticize, and that will make them feel better, feel like they're significant and they're important. It's funny, it's like the irony, because we're not very observant, we're not very honest with ourselves. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you using your relationships for? Are you using them to feel more important? Are you using them to feel like a victim? Are you using them to feel better than someone else by judging them or by making them smaller? Or are you using your relationships, and this is what you can choose to do from this moment forward, are you using your relationships, are you serving yourself with your relationships or by your relationships to be a leader, to be more understanding, to practice being more loving, to practice being more centered, to practice being more expressive, to practice being more confident, to practice worrying less, to practice giving more freedom, giving more of anything, you know, giving more value to someone. Because that's way more powerful. I mean, use your relationships wisely. Serve yourself by your relationships and by the other person wisely. And when you have this mentality, when you're conscious about the fact that you are serving yourself in a certain way, and you're choosing consciously or unconsciously how to serve yourself by the magnitude of this menu, and that you can choose to serve yourself in any way that you want, because the menu is, unlimited. You can serve yourself in so many fucking ways. And however you choose to serve yourself, consciously or unconsciously, believe me, you will find ways to do that. You will find reasons to do that. If you are serving yourself by that relationship, to have opportunities to blame and to judge and to criticize because you want to feel better than another human being, because that makes you feel more significant, then you will find ways to, you will find reasons of why that person needs to be blamed or why that person needs to be judged. You will feel the right to do so. And if you want to use a relationship, all right, and you want to serve yourself by that relationship to train your mind to be stronger, to train your mind to be more detached, to train your mind to be more relaxed, then you will find all the reasons to do that. So all the reasons and all the ways and all the options are available to you all the fucking time. But you have to consciously decide how you want to be served by that relationship. And when you realize that you're serving yourself, consciously or unconsciously, now you realize that regardless of what the other person says or does, you realize that it's not about them. You realize that you're in that relationship, and regardless of what they do or what they say or how they behave, you're already serving yourself. You're already winning. You're already gaining from that relationship something. Now, you can decide to serve yourself to be a victim, or you can decide to serve yourself to be the best version of yourself. A bigger you, a stronger you, a more happy you, a more joyful you. And you might say, well, Alex, this person is doing this to me. It doesn't fucking matter. The brain will find whatever it wants to find to make you feel the way you want to feel. And you might say, I don't want to feel like a victim. I don't want to feel these kind of emotions. I don't want to feel angry or sad or depressed or disappointed. Well, down deep, maybe you do. If you're feeling that way, it's because you do want to feel that way. Unconsciously. I know consciously you don't want that, but unconsciously you want to feel that way. You want to feel angry and sad and depressed and disappointed and disrespected and not valued. You want to feel that way unconsciously because you've conditioned yourself that feeling that way equals being more significant, equals having more problems, equals having attention from someone. And we prefer to receive negative attention than no attention at all. So we'll find a fucking way to get that attention. Now, be wiser, be more intelligent, be better with yourself, and serve yourself by that relationship, by that person, whether they know it or not. It doesn't really matter. It's about how you're going to use that relationship, how you're going to use that person. Because you're already using them, by the way. I mean, no matter how much you believe blindly, you believe in blind romance or blind love. I believe in love. I love love. I love romance, but I don't want to be blindly in love or blindly romantic. I want to be equilibrating my emotional side of me and my logical side of me. because that makes you stronger, that makes you more powerful. So it doesn't matter how much you believe blindly in romance or in love. The truth is, psychologically, you're using that relationship. You're in that relationship of any kind because you're serving yourself for something. Ask yourself, how do you usually feel in that relationship? Do you feel shitty? Then you're using that relationship as an opportunity for you to feel shitty, for you to justify your shittiness. Because unconsciously you know that in a relationship, shit can happen. People can do things or say things that you can use in order for you to feel like a victim. Or you can also use those things, the same words, the same actions, as an opportunity for you to be a fucking leader, for you to understand them more, for you to be more loving, for you to be more present, for you to be more detached from whatever they choose to do, from their behaviors. So it doesn't matter what they do, it's how you choose to be served by that. So choose wisely, my friend. All right, if you want me to be your personal coach, as you can tell, maybe I've been shaking my arm. My shoulder is tired from carrying my phone. And I would love to coach you. I would love to help you become a more complete, a more fulfilled, a more joyful, a more resilient, a more happy version of yourself. A more detached and a more connected version of yourself. All right, so send me a message. I would love to help you as your personal coach. Rock it, and I'll talk to you soon.